That's Scott Pruitt. He's the best road racer that, you know, there was. He's won Daytona, I don't know how many times in that. He was a personal friend of ours. We raced go-karts with him. We took him to Europe to race go-karts. That's when he first started. That happened to be a picture up there that he was telling. That was in St. Pete whenever they was doing a race down there. And my daughter, like I told you, always has a camera. And Scott was telling how he was testing a Formula One. And you got, you know, they're so late. He said whenever you get on the brakes, and he's got, you know, and she snapped it just whenever he, you know, you can see his eyes are closed and everything. It was pretty cool. But yeah, we've been around him a lot over the years.
I moved these chairs now where you can see that cart picture better.
Yeah. Whenever we was talking about the three generations, we all ran there the same day and won the same day. But now we got 4 generations that have been on the Daytona track, and that's Colin's kart there.
That was on Daytona?
Yeah, they have a dirt track on the outside, and Todd puts on a race over there. So they have a group of these same karts. They call them juice box karts. And
okay, that's what I saw on your post the other day.
Yeah, they ran over there. So he ran Daytona. So we have 4 generations that have raced at Daytona.
That's awesome. So these all look like they're similar from the same
They're
place?
all from Daytona, but they started, well, I don't even know. I don't know if I can even read the date.
It's like 82?
Yeah, probably 82. And it goes on through, you know, they're halfway down, it changes to some of the Daytona, and then these are championships. And then Daytona again, what starts in the Bretts. Then we're starting right now.
Okay, the 99.
Yeah, them are Bretts.
So when did the Briggs thing start? That when it, you know, everybody had to be in the same motor.
Well,
When did that take place?
I don't know. This 206 thing that they have now has been, what, 4 years, 5 years?
Something like that.
Is it that recent?
Yeah. Then the rest of the cups and that, until you get around there, was championship trophies, but them were either one of them. I didn't.
What are the Eagles?
That's the year end for the organization for WK. That's the WK championships.
And what's the Turvis Cup? It's got your name on one side and the flags on the other.
Who knows?
It's fun as some of these look older than they are. 83.
Yeah, well, some of them cleaned up. They've just been sitting in boxes and that. Some of them have been dropped and just.
I mean, those are 40 years old.
That's right.
Yeah, 83 is not 17 years ago anymore.
I thought it was 10 years ago. What do you mean?
That's just some different trophies.
these from?
Them are from Savannah. The guy that used to do the thing up there, gave cups all the time back years ago.
Okay. So what are some of the shirts and all of this, some of this memorabilia? What's happening here?
It's just, shirts that we have some that, that's just a lot of old stuff that show where we came from to where we are today. These are the first Bridgestone tires that was ever brought into the country. Here's some of the tires. You could jack up your car on top of these tires. They're so hard now compared to what you have today. Just like I said, this is all pipe stuff that I built, that we ran. Gas tanks,
You built this stuff?
I did all of it. I built just about every piece on that go-kart I built. That's one that Todd took second at Long Beach. Those are the trophies that they gave. One year we ran with the Formula One, and then IndyCar started coming the following year. But the go-kart, the tanks, the pipes, Todd did the motors, but everything else on there I did.
Wow. My real estate company has a thing down at the Grand Prix at the airport down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like next week or the week after, I think.
In St. Pete,
Yeah. Is it St. Pete? I think it is St. Pete, yeah.
IndyCar gets started pretty soon.
Say again?
I said IndyCar, you get started pretty soon.
It's at an airport down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Albert Wood Airport.
Yeah, I work for sell real estate, and LPT is the company that I'm got my license with, and they have a big thing down there built around the Grand Prix that's going on down in St. Pete's at the
Right.
airport. And they actually have a ride along that you can pay to ride along. Somehow, I didn't even realize you could get 2 people in those cars, but
Yeah.
but I don't think you're actually going to get in a car. I think they're putting you in like a standard car, and you get to drive around the track with a race car driver.
My wife still lives in St. Pete.
Ah.
I got down there all the time. That's where, we was there from I've been there from 57. We moved up here and bought the property up here in 88. And my parents passed away, and my dad passed away in 94, and I moved into the house. But they,
So how often did they spell your name wrong?
well, I did that when I was probably in 7th grade, 8th grade.
Oh, you took the
I
L
dropped
off?
the L off, and just to be different. And
World's fastest jet kart. Huh? Wow. So who's that? Is that?
that's Todd. That's Todd's first enduro kart. And that's a picture that my daughter took at Charlotte in that same kart. And that's him in the kart with me.
Is this what you guys call a lay down?
Yes.
It does not look comfortable.
We would come home and Todd would figure out how many miles he drove laying on his back that weekend. Because I kept every lap that either one of them ever drove, I had a stopwatch on. That's a clutch adjuster that you can adjust the clutch while you're on the track, while you're running. And this here one is moves the wheel in and out. Stuff that we designed and built, sort of out of necessity.
So you guys not only have the championships and all of that, but you're innovators. You created things that are huge to the sport. Has anybody ever sat down and tried to figure out what are all the things that you've done, like make a list of those things?
I don't think so.
I'd be really curious how you guys have impacted things that way, in addition to all the championships. 'Cause
It's
that's
just like, I come up with you had, the olden days, you had two rims and they bolted together. And I made these and put O-rings in them, so when you bolt them together, you didn't have to you didn't leak. They used to put a O-ring in there, or silicone, and you had to clean it. And I made them at different widths and everything. Just little things like that we did that they had a mount like this, but it set straight up and down. And we took and I built these, the first ones, and then they were copied by Hager, and they started making that like that on 45. You
learn patent law. Is that?
Yeah, I've got a couple patents, and they can take and break that patent so damn easy to work it.
We got some rings in here. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, WK used to give you a ring when you won a championship. Todd's got one. He won 4 in 1 year. He got a ring somewhere that's got 4 diamonds around it. He won so many of them that he got a necklace, like a charm. His mother has one. She can't find it. His first wife had one. She hasn't found it, but he was in 79, so what was that? He was 63, 73,
16
years old. He won the Mechanic of the Year, and I won the Mechanic of the Year in 88. This is a trophy that Brett got for winning 3 classes in 1 year. Todd won 4, and I think he's still the only one that's ever won 4 in 1 year. And then he's in the Hall of Fame, and I'm in the Hall of Fame.
It was pretty. Where'd they go? They left us in here.
Hard to tell about them. Of course, I told you, Brett, this here is a trophy that they run a class they call Chump Car, and they run Daytona and different places. You can have anything you want, you put it in there. There's like 150 of them, starts as a Volkswagen Bug, whatever.
Really?
And they're in the top class. 2 guys that we race go-karts with are older. They decided to do that. They don't do go-karts anymore. And they have 2 cars, and Brett goes and runs with them every once in a while. Two years ago, I guess it was, at Daytona, Brett got in a car probably a 3rd stint in the morning. They run like 12, 14 hours, and they were like 6, 7 laps down. Or he took and got them back up in like 2nd place, and then he ran the last stint of the day, and they were down like 4 laps or something like that, and he ended up getting all the way to 2nd. He was right behind the guy in 1st whenever it stopped. So they give him a trophy, but they just weld a bunch of pieces and that together. I mean, it's got everything you want. I mean, you can hardly lift the damn thing. It's so heavy.
Yeah, the rotor alone.
Yeah.
And this kart was whose?
That's what we call Formula K. That was for the World Championship.
So this was Todd's.
Yes. We still got stuff, more stuff, but it's, you know, I started putting the thing together a couple of years ago, and this is as far as I've got. But that's the flags that I built for him back when he was 4 or 5 years old. That's a go-kart. It's funny, it was all, you know, it had never been painted or anything. He, like I said, he would never even get in the damn thing. And so I was trying to clean it up to put in here, and I put different things, and come in here one day and there's a mark all the way around. What the hell? That's a shadow. And I went down there, it was rust. I've never seen it like it was rust, and it was just falling on the ground.
Oh.
So I ended up having it blasted, and I got another can of paint at the shop that just came, but I wanted to get it done. But tried to make it look like it was rusty.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was the first Subaru that they ran. Then they ran a different one later. I think that was in the lower class.
Hey, Colin, come here.
You gonna put him in? Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, I'll get
Okay.
him to talk to him. I need you.
We had Rebecca run before she got pregnant with Colin.
You were doing this too?
They have
You built a vintage car.
vintage class, or vintage karting. They hold an event. They've held a couple of events here, and so the first year they had it, the guy had an old kart, and he begged her to run it, and she finally did. And then so I asked her if she wanted to, you know, race it. So I built her one just like this with a Yamaha on it. She ran it. A few went up to Ohio and ran.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was very smooth. It ran like a Cadillac, I felt like.
No kidding.
Hey, Colin,
Is that a moon pie?
will you sit in your go-kart? And maybe Grandpa can sit next to you?
Oh yeah, there you go.
What are you eating there, bud? Where's mine?
It looks like a moon pie.
A double-decker moon pie. So, Colin, do you remember for Christmas when you got a go-kart? Who got it for you? Grandpa Bill? And how old were you? 2, yes. And you got in the go-kart, and what'd you do? You just went.
Yep.
He had never done anything with a steering wheel before, but he just somehow knew he just kept going.
I got it all on video whenever he first got it.
So then, Colin, you started coming out to Bushnell Motorsports Park and practicing? Is it fun? What's your favorite part?
Can't cut your tongue?
Is it the bridge? Do you like the bridge? Yeah? Do you like going over the bridge or under the bridge better? You like going over better?
And
You like how fast you go on the hill, huh?
And he likes it when Finley's out there and then he can chase Finley. Right? And is Grandpa building you a new kart? What color? Do you remember what color it is? It's your favorite color. You know what color it is. Is it red? No, it's not. What color is it? Blue?
Is it pink with white polka dots?
He's having fun doing what he's doing, so we're just procrastinating to let him have fun with what he's doing first. You can always they start at 4 years old, and you know, I figure if they do this and have fun at it and enjoy it, we got plenty of years to do it where you're competitive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the big thing. If you're enjoying what it is, that's what you need to do. I tell people, you know, I have got in more parents' face than enough when they're screaming and hollering at a kid. You can go deeper in that corner than that. And I said, have you ever drove a go-kart? No. How the hell do you know how fast they can go in that corner?
Right.
You know, but I said, if you're not having fun, go play baseball.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's supposed to be fun for all of you, not just you, not just the kid. Everybody needs to enjoy it.
Do you have fun?
You like being in the go-kart?
And what do we drive sometimes when we go to races? Grandpa's what? Grandpa has a race bus.
A race bus?
we was carrying so many go-karts out, and you know, I don't know how many trailers that we had built and had, and I bought a Greyhound first, and we had it set up, for the racing, and then we got to where we had more go-karts than we had spots to put them, so I cut a hole in the side of the bus so you could put upstairs, and we would stay in it. We'd go, it wasn't fancy, and then, it just, like I said, just expanded. So I bought a Prevost in 2002, and bought the Prevost because all the bays were exactly the same size.
Mm-hmm.
And I built all the racks and everything in there, and we could put all the go-karts down below, and then upstairs we had, I had 4 bunks, 2 in the back and 2 in the front, put a bathroom in it, and we had a couple cabinets where the motors were and the radios and all that kind of stuff, and one just had spare parts, and we put 125,000 miles on it, we took it to Atlanta, and it's sitting in Atlanta for 2 years and never
That's
moved.
what held all the tires that they were selling.
We got it back. They took and redid most of it. They left the back where the bunks at where I sleep in at, but they changed everything else in it. And
I'm trying to talk them into letting us put in bunk beds for the little ones.
Uh-huh.
yeah, we're gonna do it. But we haven't. We took it to Indy a couple of years ago. Just haven't used it, as much as what we could. I've taken it to some of these the races that Brett puts on.
Traveling is much nicer with kids when they're not strapped in a car seat the whole time. When
yeah.
They can just be in there pack and play and watching a movie and make them a snack in the kitchen and then walk back. And
Yeah, I tell whenever I guess maybe, I'm not sure whether it was in the old bus or the new one, but we was in Charlotte and we got ready to leave and pulled out of the parking lot, and I looked back and Brett's sound asleep, and about halfway home he gets up, he walks up and he says, "You want something to eat?" And I said, "Yeah." They went back and made me a sandwich. Came back up and gave me a sandwich. He went back there, and I didn't, it was dark. I couldn't really tell what he was doing or anything. And of course, he didn't went back there and fell back to sleep. The next morning, I was going out and start to clean up the bus, and there was a sandwich on a counter back there. He brought me a sandwich. And he he made one for himself and fell asleep before he ever got it. But, you know,
Well,
he would be, we'd go anywhere. I was driving and he's sleeping.
well, and what of all the miles on the bus, you've done all of them except for what, 9?
Something like that. I think he drove it from Amp to into town.
Yeah, that was like 7 miles. And then I think one time we were sitting in traffic and he held the gas or the brake pedal while you went to the bathroom. But
Yeah. Yeah, I've pretty much drove it all. But Todd and his sister the same way. We'd be, you know, back when we had a van or whatever and we'd be pulling the trailer, I'd look back and both of them sound asleep and I'm driving. But that's part of the show. I've enjoyed it every 60 years of it.
It's just amazing, the history. It is absolutely amazing.
There's a lot of people that are running finish stuff out today that was in it back years ago, and then they went to college, got married, did a job, and then they back in it. But we have been in it for 60 years.
Yeah, nonstop. Yeah, no break.
And it's crazy to me what started off as just something he did with his buddies in the evenings has now turned into a 3-4 generation legacy and people's livelihoods, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely evolved into way more than just a hobby.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's all good.
Something definitely to be proud of. All right. Do you think we covered?
I think so.
Is there anything that you think we missed, or?
Anything